it's just so hard to get everything in here, get everything out of the way. Because there's stuff that I don't need to see. Because this is my man cave. And I do have stuff in here that will probably offend a couple of people out there. You know, it's not letting me. What's up, Rachel? Hey, keep those podcasts going. We got a different, a lot more information tonight, I guess, and talking about things. Betty Garibay, that means Mikey's with her. Maybe not. It's not letting me share, so I don't care. I can get to that later. Kind of go through some stuff here at the beginning. What they tell you when you do this is don't wait for people to come on. Just start talking. I've got some question and answers. The one thing, we just got back from Florida. I was up in Savannah, Georgia, and then drove down from Savannah to Tampa, Florida. There's a big tournament down there. I've met a bunch of great people. And here's the deal, guys, about that. A lot of people coming up to the tent and talking to us. I like that. I like that a lot of you guys are wanting information. And I was there for about 4 hours and talking. And then I went over to the other field and just talking to people over there. And I got to see some old friends that I haven't seen in 30 years. That I used to play with, Rocky Mountain Butt Cells out of Colorado, Monument, Colorado. I lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado. My first wife, my ex-wife, was in the military and played ball around Colorado Springs. And he actually was in the Army. It was Matt Hill. He was in the Army, and we picked him up because he had a flat-out cannon and could hit the ball mile. Played outfield. All Army team, I think he was on. And I got to meet some people that I haven't seen in a while. I didn't recognize him, as a matter of fact, when he came up and started talking to me. And that was pretty funny. But there are some things I wanted to address tonight and kind of get to. The one thing I will say this, getting started into doing this is before I get into this intro stuff, is, guys, if you ever hear anything, or if you ever hear something and don't know the answer, especially when it comes to Short Porch, give us a call, give us a text message, and we can answer it pretty fast. The one thing that I was talking to Jeff and Leslie today is we're not into the drama stuff. We have a group of people that are actually supporters, reps, factory hitters, those kind of people. And I get phone calls, and Jeff and Leslie get text messages and phone calls about what do they have to do to become a rep. For one, the first thing is get a hold of Christian at Short Porch and talk to him. Another thing too, guys, we vet people pretty well. We just, that's what we do. I know because of the popularity that Short Porch has gotten within the last few months, especially with this Kevlar that came out, the DDT coming out next month. The month after that, we really don't know. What's up, Bob? But we just don't. We actually, vet people very well. We have a bunch of good people that actually, and it doesn't matter if you're, the one thing that, we have a variety. And when we started doing this, we had a variety of people, a variety of people with bat speeds. We kind of lean, we love getting the ladies involved, right? We love getting the 70-year-old guys involved. We love getting the 40-year-old guys, the 45, 50, all of them. Because when we first started doing this, that's the movement, what we talked about, getting a lot of people involved, because about bat speed, handle flex. Who benefits from handle flex? There was so much misinformation out there 10 years ago, but I really couldn't talk too much about it. Now I can, because, we're all on the same page when we talk about things. And that will transition, believe it or not, that will transition into baseball. That will transition to fast pitch. Because in softball, in the ASA too, and I'll talk a little bit about that later, the U-Trip, it all's going to transition into that. What Jeff and Leslie wanted to do is build the best senior bats, go the opposite direction. A lot of other companies out there are build the best senior bat and then progress, because it's, we think that it's a lot easier to go backwards than it is to go forward from U-Trip or ASA into senior. What we have experienced in our time doing this, my time doing this for 15 years. But the one thing that, we don't like drama. The one thing, getting back to here recently, within the last 2-3 weeks, getting a lot of people want to be reps, calling in. For one, you have to be a good person. That's for and foremost. You don't have to be that guy that just bombs away every time. I think the day of those have gone. I think a lot of people have realized that they don't have that bat speed, so what benefits them might not be that good for them, because what benefits those guys with 100-mile-an-hour bat speed might not be good enough for me. And I can tell you right now, it's not. Right, because I need a barrel to flex. I need a little bit of flex in the handle, not too much, And that's really what we were doing when we were in Florida last week. Got a bunch of people come up, the movement, a bunch of people come up and, hey, and I was talking to my wife about this when she was there, and guys would just come by and shake your hand and say thanks. I guess Billy doesn't have Facebook. I'm scheduling hitting in the morning, and my guys are texting me, and they're not even watching. But a lot of guys just coming up and saying, hey, thanks, or patting me on the back, or patting Jeff on the back, or, Leslie, and just say, hey, thanks, when we're at the ballpark, and then walking off. That's what makes it badass for what we're doing. And just educating. And that's the biggest thing. And that's what we are here to do, is educate. What best bat fits your swing, talk about when we introduce Kevlar. What does Kevlar do? How does Kevlar benefit each person out there? Which we have went to Kevlar in all of our bats. Another thing too, what you've heard about Kevlar is not the same as what you hear about Kevlar with short porch. It is built different. And I don't want to get into how it is. It's just the Kevlar from 15, 20 years ago isn't the Kevlar now. It's different Kevlar. I talked to a few people about that this weekend. I talked to people about, our material, from the U.S. And I talked to Jeff a little bit about this too, is get more transparency, get you guys more involved on how this is done up to a point. And then he was on board, him and Leslie, because I talked to both of them, and I got to hang out with them quite a bit and just basically talk on where we're going in 2025. There is guys, I really can't talk about, I can only talk about a third of what's coming. The rest is, and I understand it, the rest is, but there's some, the rest is something that's game changing and pushing the envelope on a lot of the stuff that we do, not only in senior ball, but ASA and U-Trip, and then fast pitch, and then BB core bat, because we have designed a BB core bat for baseball. I actually got to look at it last week, and the DDT talked about that a little bit, what we're going to do with it in another 8 months, right before Vegas, different things that we've talked about going forward. Yeah, just to let you guys know that we appreciate, coming up to us and pat on the back and saying, hey, thanks for educating us, talking about bat speeds. And then, I had my, one thing I did take is my scale with me, and I was weighed quite a few bats. We did not have a chance. We actually forgot it on the bat, the compression tester. I will have my compression tester here in San Antonio in a couple of weeks in a tournament and take it out. We have a local tournament here, happens every year, and I think I know a few guys that are actually getting into that. And I was asked to take my compression test out there because a lot of guys, what's happening to a lot of guys nowadays, and I'm kind of going off script here, but what happens to a lot of guys nowadays is they want to know their compression before they go to a tournament. And I know that's hard. There are little ways you can tell if you lost compression. For one, basically is the sound. When it starts changing sound on you, it sounds like you're hitting a sock. That is a way to tell. A lot of you guys with that lower bat speed, that's when your performance is through the roof. A lot of you guys with that higher bat speed, that's when your bat you get no response out of your bat when it sounds like a sock, unless you're a cutter. Now that's different too. That's how come the education part about doing this is vital for a lot of you guys out there picking bats. There's a way to tell, unless you have a compression tester, there's not really, there's only a couple of things you can tell. When you square a ball up, you'll find out it has no performance on it. And it just goes out there and just dies. The bat's imploding on you, makes that sound. Just get rid of it. Give it to somebody that has that less bat speed. Other than that, not too many people have compression testers. In San Antonio, I'll have one. I'll have mine with me everywhere I go. You guys can come up. I can compression test your bat for you at these tournaments. Here, what I will do is we are going to collaborate with Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller is a Texas rep. He goes around, Short Porch, Texas rep, and he goes around to a lot of these tournaments. I talked to him in Florida. He was up there playing 65s, I think. And we, a group of our guys, the guys Texas, Short Porch is going to go to his tournaments. The one that he's at, especially if we're playing at him, we're going to hang around the tent and basically talk to Bob. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about this guy, this thing right here? Is that what you're talking about? That two-piece bat, a demo that I don't think you got to swing it. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. That's kind of like a teaser. But we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with Bobby at these tournaments, kind of sit in the booth, kind of talk to a lot of people. Talk to a lot of people about Short Porch on the movement, what bat fits you. It's not one bat fits all anymore. I preached that for years about that. Finally get to work with a company that agrees, with some of the stuff I was talking about. And we get to build great bats for the future. And that's what's happening going forward. I'm excited about 2025. I got back. I excited that the first tournament everybody's into it. Florida's got to be, it was in the 85s there. Florida's got to be one of the best places to play softball in. I've been to California a few times. It's the one thing I will say is, Texas, California, and Florida, you get to play all year round. A little bit of Arizona, South, New Mexico, and South. You get to play there all year long. Those southern states, you get to play. The thing, and I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this later on a little bit too. Is that you guys up north have a disadvantage because you always. And over the last few years, I've noticed this too, 10, 15 years, is you guys always are struggling to break bats in. And I'm that guy that believes that, a bat has to be broken. Doesn't matter if it's hot out of the wrapper, whatever you say, and I've preached this for years, I think what we are trying to do is get it to that point quicker. That's the only thing that I can say about us. Is we try to get it to that point quicker and hold compression for a longer time. And I think Kevlar is the answer to that. When I say I mean we. And I've said that with Senior Softball Bat Reviews too, because we've all talked about it. So get to that place quicker and stay there for a long period of time. What has happened is, and I'm kind of going off for a while here too. This is probably going to be one of those long videos, but what has happened with that is a lot of people out there, and there are those people that are saying, how hot is hot? How far are you going to go? How far, are you going to push this? Because when it comes to safety, The one thing that I agree with a lot of bat companies out there is we want to build the best product. We want to build the hottest, and we want to build the most durable. Now, guys, the days of the 1,000 swings are over with. If your bat speed's over so many miles per hour, you know, you younger guys and the ladies can get a little bit more life out of them. But that's the educational part when we're talking to you guys. The one thing, you got to get that through your head, where a lot of guys out there will say, well, my bat cracked within 50 swings. And I would say, okay, first question is, what's your bat speed? What balls were you hitting? How cold was it? So that's what we want to transfer over to you guys, is have that wherewithal where you don't go out in 50-degree weather and start swinging a top tier bat. You know, find a bat that's got a harder barrel on it. A lot of the old bats had harder barrels on it. You grab one of them and swing it. The problem with that is weight distribution. You don't want to swing a bat that don't have the same weight distribution numbers that is your gamer. And that's the part about that. So what we do with Show Porch is we build U-trip bats that have the same weight distribution numbers. You can grab it. You can grab short. We can build a U-trip bat. You can grab a U-trip bat has the same as the wig popper, 240, same weight distribution numbers as the wig popper in the senior bat, and it'll last. Richard, you need to quit. Guys, do not listen to Richard when he talks about that. He said he's got 1,000 swings on one of his bats. Richard does not have 63 miles an hour. It's an ongoing joke. So if you're new to the channel, just don't look at don't look at that. It's a joke. He was killing it yesterday. Tomorrow, I will be putting video up all day long. Tomorrow morning, I'll talk about this later too, is tomorrow morning, we'll be doing Facebook Live again in the morning. But it's just getting back to what I was talking about a minute ago. What is the shutoff? What is, and it's what is the shutoff? Because I will say this, every bat manufacturer out there wants to build a top tier bat. Exit reload number is going to go through the roof. There's so many things that go into that, guys. There's just so many things that go into that. It's going to be a time, and I talked to Matt Barnes a little bit about this today, because we do kind of get on the phone and vent to each other a little bit, because I'm getting this text messages, and how far are you going to go on building hot bats? Well, as far as we can go, because they do have NTS testing. So we're trying to push that envelope really close to that, right? And get the durability in there too, because for years you've been having, to build a durable bat, you got to build a bat that is the barrel, don't have too much barrel response. So we're trying to push that envelope where we get up to NTS testing. We're going to push it to where we can get it to pass as close as that, and then get it to last. I've said this for years, and you can go back and look. I've said 300 swings on a bat is what I look for, right? Because when you start getting into 5, 6 with my bat speed, guys, I'm not talking about your bat speed. I'm not talking about Clem's bat speed. I'm not see, that's the deal too. Everybody bat speed different. Everybody actually breaks bats faster than other people. Like I said a minute ago, you guys with that 40s, the 40s will break bats like you would not believe, and then sit there and bitch and complain about it like this bat's a piece of shit. Well, it's really not. It's just not for you. You need to get something that has a little bit tougher barrel, that you can swing, maybe a little bit more flex in the hands, like Jeff actually preaches about. So this is what we're trying, and we can't do it all in one night. I'm getting already into this. I cannot sit here and talk about this all night. These are going to be little things that we cut up in these podcasts that we do on Wednesdays to get you guys better. What's up, Charlie? To get you guys better into bats out there that actually fit your bat speed. How tall are you? I talked to a few people this last weekend where they walked up to me and they go, "Can you look at my bat speed?" And if you guys see in the video, these guys that asked me that, I'm throwing bats out there in front of them that I think would better fit their swing. There were some guys that were way off, because their bat speed was higher than what they had told me. I had a couple of guys that asked to look at my bat speed, and I got there and looked at it, and they were lower than what they had thought. So I threw them a better barrel on a bat. So They walk up there and grab that, and they got a little bit better performance. They got it. You get used to the swinging weight of the bat that I threw them. You know, what better do you swing? What is the last bat you swung? What bat do you like? Guy picks it out of the bag. Was it from another bat manufacturer? I said, okay, this is the deal with that bat. It's built like this. This would be better bat for you right here. You know, when I was in Todd and Sarah's tent. So yeah, definitely. But I've been doing this for years, guys, so I can walk into that and actually talk to you guys about that. Better and faster. Put you guys into a bat. That way you're not buying $250, $260 bats, depending on where they go in the future, because there's big tariffs out there now. So be prepared for that. That's across the board, guys. That's across the board. So, because you're not spending all that hard-earned money, and your wife gets mad at you, or your husband gets mad at you, and you're not spending that hard-earned money, and then you picking up a bat that really doesn't fit your swing. So that's what we're here to do. Getting too far into that. Let me go through a lot of things, guys, and I want to clarify a bunch of shit tonight going through this. And because this is the deal, man. What's the hottest bat ever made? I see. I might leave that for something else, but I think this is my opinion, and that's just everybody's opinion that works for Short Porch, because I've swung a ton of bats, guys. I've swung the OGs. The hottest bat ever made. I'm going to say it right now. For me, right? I'm talking about the hottest bat across the board, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm talking about across the board is the OG Blackout. Now listen, let me finish. OG Blackout was the hottest bat ever made. That bat will not be duplicated. Now, I'm going to go across the board here too. What happened to the 40s and 45 and 50s, the longevity, right? So those bats would blow up in 50 swings. The OG Blackout, that bat would blow up in 50 swings. And then what happened was, the older you got, the more longevity you got, the more durability you got, because of their slower bat speeds. Now, I'm not saying there's a 65-year-old guy out there that has great bat speed would blow that bat up. Yes, he would. It might last a little longer. I had one that lasts 210 swings, and it's in my bag. So it lasts me 210 swings. It's not cracked. 27 ounce. I got 3 of them, right? Now, guys, listen to this. There are guys, and I have a video up, Jeff Kessler's playing, of his team. I have a video up of guys swinging that same OG bat and killing it, hitting line drive home runs far with that bat. Sean. And who's the other one? Who's the other guy? Oh, Jeff Kessler. He swings a 27 ounce, my weight, 27 ounce black OG. He's got like 5 of them, right? And he still had them. He's still hitting it. That bat is the hottest bat ever. I'm talking about OGs, and I know you guys are going to roll your eyes and go, oh, the OG Dudleys, oh, shit. But that bat is hotter than that, all right? It's just, I'm just telling you. Now, durability, it doesn't even compare to the OG, but the OGs are gone. That bat will not pass NTS testing right now. Hey, Ron, here you go. Ron, see this one? I might have them. Ron just told me you might have 5 of them. I'd love to have 5 of those bats. But this is our opinion, guys. It's not set in stone. This is by us doing all the testing, and me, and I would have to say me and all my guys have actually hit a lot of bats. And we've hit the OGs. OG was my gamer. I've hit the Ultra, the original. I hit that bat. But remember, we were hitting hot-ass balls back then. So I'd have to say the black OG. Problem is, there's a waiting list for those to be turned back in. I will say this. If you guys have that bat, and you 40, 45, 50-year-old guys, you're going to crack it. You'll get a hell of a 3 or 4 swings out of it. 3 or 4 swings, excuse me. You get a hell of a 3 or 4 tournaments out of it, but that's it. Maybe 2 tournaments if you're going long in a tournament, but that's it. But I've got guys calling me every day for that bat. Do I have some? Yes, I have some. My wife has 2. Zena has one. Mike Garibay has one. See, there you go. All the older guys, because that bat is phenomenal for them, and it will last a long time. So that is the best. Like somebody asked, that's the reason I had to go there. That is the best bat. And listen to this. I have videos showing game footage of us swinging that bat. I say us. I would say Jeff's team swinging that bat. Major team. They played in Florida last week. Big guys. Tremendous bat speed. I think Sean's more of a cutter, though, because he was hitting line drives out. Charlie has one, 27 ounce. That, in my opinion, and our opinion, because me and Jeff talked about this, and me and Leslie talked about this, and Christian talked about this, that is the best bat we think ever made. And it will not be made again. Maybe before Vegas, there might be something coming out that pretty close to it. But that's all I can tell you about that. Guys, I'm on YouTube. I'm kind of getting carried away there, but I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on that membership channel. Guys, I have a membership channel on YouTube. It's $5 a month. You can join that membership channel. I've got 70, close to 80 people on that membership channel. I talk about different things on that membership channel, guys. Things I can't talk about or don't talk about or won't talk about up here. Maybe a little bit more transparency on that membership channel if you guys want to join it. Also, I don't even have it with me. I didn't bring it. On that membership channel, this coming up next week, I'm going to start doing bat giveaways on bats that I have. I've got a 27-inch whiteout that is on there. It's got 210 compression. It's got a little sliver in the paint right here where paint chipped off of it. A lot of guys out there don't like that. So what I did was I'm going to put it on that membership channel, raffle it off. I want to do probably 1 or 2 of those a month. That way, giving back to that membership channel on bats that we have actually swung and kind of put it out there on that membership channel. Tomorrow, a lot of videos are going to go up during the whole day. Get a lot of info out there. There are some things, man, that I want to clarify that are going on, and I'm kind of reading off of stuff that I have to go through. There is the Minions, and I call them the Minions. Been with me for 15 years. And I appreciate everything that they do. And even the guys that don't claim to be minions, but they are followers. Man, I love every one of you guys. I have text messages from a few of those guys that have actually said that he caught a lot of people talking about me, and it wasn't in a good way. Or they have found text messages, or they found these emails that have been sent to a group that they actually take screenshots of it and send it to me that's talking about me. Guys, I don't. And this is funny. Our one guy threatened, if you keep talking shit, I'm going to put out this audio of this guy talking about you. That's another thing I heard the other day, guys. I don't give a shit. I laugh at that shit, man. I really don't. The one thing growing up in life, and a lot of you guys realize this, growing up in life, you guys realize this. My first impression may not be a good one, and I talked to Richard Clem about that today. My first impression, because I take a lot of pictures with resting bitch face. I mean, I really do, and there's a reason why I do that, and me and Sarah are working on it. But a lot of people's opinion of me when they first meet me, but if you sit down and talk to me, I can sit there and talk for hours. I can laugh. I joke around and tell stories like nobody else does. So I've learned through life that first impressions don't mean shit to me, So if somebody's trashing me and talking bad about me, I don't care, because they really don't know me. If they got to know me, they probably know what kind of person I am. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about what kind of person I am, but I do laugh. I do have a good time. It's just that a lot of people out there, a few people out there, I'm saying a lot, I have this evidence that this guy was talking shit. He's supposed to be Dave's friend, and he's talking shit about him, and I'm going to release it. Well, fucking release it. I don't give a shit. You guys, I sleep great at night. I have a good time. I joke with my kids. I joke with my friends. I have a good time, guys. I really do. It just that person at that time did not know me. But maybe they got to know me over time, and they said, well, that guy's not big a jackass as we might think he is. But that's in life, though. That's when when you think you know somebody, now that guy's an asshole because he just, the way he talks, the way he does his stuff, I just don't like it. I never judge, man. I never judge people when it comes to that. So I don't fault you for doing it because there's some things that I've done, like resting B-face, where I could get that stereotyped into being that asshole. But guys, release the video. It's not going to break my heart. I don't care. And don't threaten to release the video or the audio. I really don't care. And it doesn't bother me. And I can still be friends with them. That's another thing too. I can still be friends with them. If I have trouble with somebody, I would rather them come to me and tell me, what's your problem with me? Because I really don't, or want them to come to me and say, this is the problem I have with you. Then we can hash it out. If I have trouble with somebody, I do the same thing. I've done it for years. If I have trouble, I'll sit down and talk to you. Guys, I've owned 7 companies. I have no problem sitting down and talking to people, hashing things out. It doesn't bother me. And I don't fault you. I'm not going to judge you because you don't like me. It really doesn't bother me. I have a lot of people out there. What's up, Kevin? I have a lot of people out there that like what we're doing. So release the video, release the stuff. I don't care. There's videos, there's funny videos out there of me. It's kind of funny, they don't bother me. I watched it and I was like, that's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny. TikTok video. So that's pretty funny. It's not true, but it's pretty funny. And it got me a lot of attention. That's what it did. And I look at the glass half full, and I've always have. I look at the glass half full. Guys, health. The one thing I will say, because we are getting into the year, the one thing I will say to a lot of you guys out there is go get checked up. I got blood work tomorrow morning. I've actually got a doctor's appointment. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. For tomorrow morning, and I'm going to go it's a new doctor. It's a new primary that I'm going to go in tomorrow morning, and I'm going to get everything done. DHEA, I'm going to get vitamin D. I'm going to get testosterone done because I haven't taken my shot in 10 days. The one thing you don't want to do is walk into a place and after you're taking your shot and get blood work done, because it's going to be through the roof, and they're going to be bitching and raising hell with you, saying it's too high. So I'm on my 10th day right now. Tomorrow will be 11. My testosterone should be pretty plummeted where I go in there, and it's going to be around 200 is usually, I've been doing this for a while. It's going to be around 200. I feel fatigued today. I feel sore. My body hurts because I haven't taken my shot in 10 days. So yeah, definitely. Another thing too, just because the doc says, and the only reason I'm saying this is because Adam came on here. Just because I had 4 doctors tell me don't get on testosterone. That was 15 years ago. I went to another doctor. I've had a lot more than 4 that had tell me it's great for you. It's great for your heart. My heart doctor actually told me that. Your heart needs to work too. I mean, as we get older, if you're not on TRT or growth hormone, I would say more TRT is your organs shrink as you get older. I'm talking to the ladies too. The ladies need to listen to this too. Go out there and get checked. What helps you ladies with, shit, I'll think about it in a minute. What helps you ladies too as you get older is testosterone, the menopause. When you ladies are going through menopause, testosterone can actually take a little bit off. And another thing too, you girls don't take as much testosterone as we do. That's another thing. We took a lot more than we do because our body needs a lot more. You ladies don't have a lot of testosterone, but you do need a little bit. Estrogen, I think, is bad. So you need to get that, your levels at an optimal range, I should say. But definitely, high blood pressure, that's another thing too. I get fleeped. I'm going to get fleeped tonight or tomorrow, so I'll be giving blood in the house, in the other room. I'm not going in donating blood. It's faster here. I've got a nurse that lives in the other room, lives with us, and she can actually fleep me. It only takes about 5-10 minutes, and I put about a pint in there, and I feel really good. But you got to get fleeped. If you're on testosterone, you got to get fleeped. Because your red blood cells will get too high. Blood pressure may raise a little bit. Blood may get a little thicker if you do not monitor it. That's another thing too. Little things you have to know. When you go in, talk to your doctor. For one thing, they're going to do PSA testing on you. I think they got away from doing it the other way. but they do a lot of PSA testing. They check you out before they put you on it. I think a lot of you guys that go blind into this get in trouble. And you go blind into this and you think you just take it, that's a big no-no. I've talked to guys about testosterone over this last weekend too, and it's funny because they'll come up and talk to me, and they'll kind of pull me over to the side like it's some big quiet deal that's going on. The one thing, and get checked up, guys. I'll be going through all this other stuff, and I kind of the problem I have with talking to you guys is I kind of get on one subject and I go through it, and I've got 2-3 pages of stuff I got to get here, but I am going to go through a lot of that stuff going forward. Creatine, guys, now's the time to start. And this is the creatine that I take. I know it's backwards, but this is the best creatine I have ever found. I've been taking creatine since I was 30 years old. And guys, I've taken creatine through back in the day with a scooper, 5 grams a shot. I was taking it in my mouth and then swigging down water. Orange juice is better because it gets absorbed better with some kind of fructose, right? So some kind of sugar actually helps the creatine absorb into the muscles and bones, and not bones, but muscles and brain and whatever. Creatine is good for the brain. That's another thing too. Helps with brain. Guys, here's the deal. I'm not going long into this. I want you guys to do research on this. Everything I talked to you about tonight, do your own research, do your own legwork. Do not take, I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. I'm just telling you little ways to actually increase your quality of life. And that's what it's all about. TRT, another thing too. Growth hormone, wait for that. I mean, wait till you get all your TRT levels checked. Usually what happens with growth hormone, you can take it. It's expensive. It's hard to get approved by a doctor. It took me over a year. A lot of blood work, a lot of stimulation testing through it. I sat there for 5 hours taking blood from me every 30 minutes to see if what they injected into me increases my pituitary gland to secrete growth, because that's what does it. A lot of people can't do it. I can't do it. My pituitary gland does not secrete growth. That's how come I got approved. It takes a long time, and once you change insurance companies, does that insurance company actually approve it? It's just a pain in the ass. Do not get it black market. It's faked on the black market so much. You're spending a lot good money on that shit, and it's not worth it. Let me explain something to you. A lot of you guys give me a hard time because I don't smile when I take my pictures, and I guess that's got to be, that guy's an asshole. A lot of people sit there, he just looks like he's mad all the time. I'm really not. I can't smile, dude. It's been like that through my whole life. I cannot smile when it comes to a picture. So what I know, if I don't smile, I just sit there, look at the camera, and take the picture. It actually looks halfway decent. So when I smile, it looks like I have a huge face. Like it just looks fake as shit. And I told my wife this, to my wife, why don't you smile? I can't. It just looks, I look bad when I smile. So I got to where doing senior softball bat reviews, I would take the picture and I was just like, why are you so mad all the time? Man, I just don't like smiling. It's not, I'm having a good time. I just don't like smiling. But Sarah Cox is working on that. She gave me some exercises. I'm not shitting you. She gave me some exercises that I can do at night that she has looked up. And we're going through this thing where I can smile and it actually looks a lot better. And it's like getting in the mirror, getting in front of the mirror and doing this, like it's so in your mouth. It is funny. She is the funniest person, guys. Sarah is the funniest person. We died laughing the whole time that we were there talking, her and Todd, but she is funny. And just talking about this, and she's serious and telling me, like, you got to do it. You got to get in front of the mirror. And I think she's messing with me because you can see me in front of a mirror going, like, strengthening your smiling muscles. And I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. Okay. But I love her. She's awesome, man. She is awesome. Good person. Good people. Her and Sarah, good people. Guys, 10 days ago, going to be 11 tomorrow, I was at the ranch. And I was walking. You guys notice I ain't been swinging lately. I was walking at the ranch. I've had rotator cuff tears, and they told me this back in the day. On my right shoulder, I've got a rotator cuff tear from benching and doing powerlifting. That was found out when I did an MRI on my neck and shoulder, because I didn't know if the shoulder pain was because of a bulging disc or whatever. So they did both of them. Well, my doctor said I have a torn rotator in my right side. And I didn't. Does it hurt you? No, it doesn't hurt me. But the one thing I will say this is throwing. In the last 10 years, I couldn't throw. If you guys notice this, and a lot of guys will start laughing because I caught a lot. So whenever I would throw, a ball would go everywhere. I had no control, but I've never had that. And pitching wise too, like I was a pitcher and I can throw it on a dime and U-trip. I can throw it wherever I wanted. I can't pitch anymore. So I can't pitch with consistency. I'm like 5-10 feet off. And that was in the past, 8 years. Well, I was at the ranch walking down a creek bottom, with my snake boots on and slipped. Not a bad slip, but it was a slip where I had to catch myself. And when I caught myself, there was a pop going right across the top, a little bit to the back. And I could not pick my shoulder up. I'm laying there in the creek bottom. Luckily, nobody saw me, but my kids were up there and my son was up there. And I was like, oh, this hurts. This ain't bad, because I heard the snap. When you tear something, guys, you know this. I've done it. A lot of parts of my body have done this. When you rubber band snap, like it'll go tight and then that's what I felt in the rotator. I couldn't pick it up that high. I spent the night there. Next morning I came in. I went straight to the ER. They checked it out, gave me a shot that was amazing, guys. I did not know what it was, but they said, hey, do you want a shot? And I said, in the rotator? And he goes, no. This is a shot in your butt cheek, and it's for inflammation. I said, damn right, give me the shot. So they gave me the shot, and 45 minutes, an hour later, man, it was freaking amazing. I couldn't still lift the shoulder. I had pain in it. Oh shit, yeah, I smiled then. I was all excited when I got home, but it wasn't a pain shot. It was actually for inflammation. Man, my back felt better, my legs felt better, my ankles felt better, everything felt better. And I need to find, a lot of guys were asking me, you need to tell us what that shot was, because we want one too. And to this day, it's still working on me. That's 10 days later. The shoulder, like I can get it up that high and that's it. But that's why I'm going to my doc tomorrow to get a referral to get an MRI done, because it's already been scheduled. I just got to get the referral from my doc, and then I'm going to go walk right into that. Dude, and if it's cut on, the guy was telling me to, if they got a cut on it, and I said, listen, throwing and pitching, I don't care about. I just need to hit. And going forward, if you can fix that where I can hit it, that's what I want to do. If it takes surgery, then let's do the surgery, because I still want to have that strength when I hit. It's weak right now, pushing down on it. I can't get it up that high. And when I grab something, like when I jerk it up the wave, it just tears me up like somebody stabbing me right in the back of it. But anyway, I'm going to get that checked out tomorrow and then see what they say about that. But I'll keep you guys informed, or even take you through the process of actually finding out what's wrong, and then talk to them, because I audio tape every one of the conversations between me and my doc and get out there. Richard Clem. And then kind of let you guys know, and if I have to get it cut on, because I will come back if I get it cut on, and the process coming back on workout routines and getting it rehabbed and just stuff, like start hitting again, and take you guys, because if you do have this injury in the future, all that would be documented with me. And I'm 64, 65. The guy says, we don't do this surgery on 65-year-old guys, but we'll do it on you because of what you do. The older you get, guys, it's nothing too. When you go to the doctor, the older you get, the less they want to cut on you for injuries like this, because they figure that, oh, we're not going to fix it because he's not doing anything. But I'm doing stuff that you need to let them know that. No, I want it fixed, because I still want to stay active. Guys, over 65 years old, they won't cut on a lot of things on your body, tendon ruptures and stuff like that. But I want to be at full strength too. So that's what I'm going to, there's my girl, Sarah, right there. She's great. I'm doing my exercises, Sarah, every night. All right, guys, shaving. I want to kind of get through this last part, except for one of them, pretty fast here. Shaving, it's. I watched a lot of games in Florida. I'm pretty good at this, guys. I watched a lot of games in Florida. I can usually pick somebody out pretty good. And there was not as much as I actually thought there was going to be, because maybe it was 50s. And, I think it's just a lot of 40s, 45s. I did see it a lot more in the past, but I was watching 50s, and then I went over to another field watching AAA and kind of hanging around with them, and I didn't really see it too much in AAA because I was listening or seeing performance, because the way the ball acted or the way somebody's texted me. Is actually the way the ball carries. Because if I did a review on a bat that I didn't think performed very well because of the barrel thickness, and then all of a sudden you're hitting at 400, and we didn't have anybody could hit that far, that's a big sign that, okay, that bat might be a little doctored. It is out there. What I want to do right now before I get to the next topic is I want to tell you guys it's pretty bad, man. I see it dropping a little bit because of the testing, especially when it comes to shaving and compression testing, because nobody wants that 10-year suspension, or nobody wants to get exposed. I think being exposed is the worst thing. Having somebody out there that, you know, that has played a lot of ball, and everybody that played a lot of ball, and that all of a sudden they get popped, and their credibility or their achievements are done. Doesn't matter what they did in life, no matter what they did in kid ball or whatever. You know, since the era of the composite bats, it doesn't matter what they did. They will be. Listen to this, guys. I'm having somebody ask me questions about balls in their league right now. So they come up while I'm talking on this, and they're coming up and asking me about balls in their league. Well, you know, about a U-trip ball that's in his league, and he was out, and he keeps texting it, and it covers most of the screen. Every day, man, every day it's like this. And I talked to Jeff and Leslie too, and with them every day it's just like that. But that's a good thing. So guys, shaving out there, it's something that has been happening. It's going to happen. I think a lot of guys are not going to stop and keep doing it. I think there was a couple of pitchers blown up last weekend. I thought they should have, an ISSA, I thought they should have grabbed the bat right away from the player and took it in. If you blow up a pitcher the way they did, I think you should take the bat away. Definitely 100%. But they only had a 4 home run limit, and a lot of those guys were swinging down and hard and had no control, and just a pitch got lit up on Jeff's team quite a bit. I want to talk about this right now, and I'm not going to stay long in doing it. And I don't want to throw "I told you so" out there too much, but I told you so. I had preached for years, and I have talked to 3 different bat manufacturers in the last 10 years about this. There is no way to check if a bat has been rolled. Now, let me rephrase that. There is no way to check if a bat that has over 200 swings on it, I'm giving a little bit there, 200 swings on it has been rolled. There's no way. And you guys got to remember that. Listen to what I'm going to say. For a bat to be picked up and looked at, it's got to have lost compression, right? So if that bat has lost compression, it has anywhere from different bat manufacturers out there, 125 to 150 swings that it loses compression, up to 1,000. As long as it loses compression, that means that bat has a lot of swings on it. Because when you roll a bat, it doesn't get down to those numbers. It just prematurely, the break-in period, it just prematurely breaks that bat in. I have said this for years on videos. You guys can go back and look at all the archives. I got 2,500 videos out there. I have said and argued with bat manufacturers out there that there's no way to tell, and they said, yes, there is. Okay? The way you can tell, if you take a brand new bat, and you put a roller on it, you probably can tell, because for one, it's going to have striations in it where it stops, right? So that roller is about that big. Roller's about that big. So you'll see different marks in it on a brand new bat. But who's going to check a brand new bat? Nobody. They're going to check a bat that lost compression. So they grab the bat, they pick it up, it lost compression, all of a sudden they say, this bat's been rolled. Could you explain to me how I said this 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. I said it 3 weeks. Can you explain to me how, because of the new rule about bat rolling at SSUSA? Now, listen to guys, I'm not faulting SSUSA. I'm really not. I'm not talking trash about SSUSA. What I'm explaining here is how can you tell? And what they said was we have a bat manufacturer that can tell. Well, was it one of the three that I argued with? Because I told them to show me and they did not show me. And I asked them, what device do you have to prove it? Because just feeling it, like ripples, some guy said the other day on that same conversation, I can feel it has ripples in it and it's been rolled. Okay, but from what bat manufacturer? Because all bats are not built the same. So if it ripples for Joe Blow Bat Company, it might not ripple for the other Joe Blow 2 Bat Company or Acme Bat Company. It might not, because it's flawed. The ripple part is, I've never had that. I never felt that, where it had a ripple in it. I had a bat roller. I've done testing. Dave, how do you know? I've done testing 3 different times. I wanted to prove my point because I did testing. So my question was, how can you tell? How can you tell? Well, we can tell. How can you tell? We can tell. Explain to me how you can tell. They couldn't fucking tell. So you know what it took? And this is the part where I have to say something. And I have to be clear at saying this. There is no way to tell. So those bats that were picked up from those players, right? They took them in and they suspended them. So what happens? They did an appeal, probably got a lawyer involved. So the lawyer comes in and says, I want to see how you can tell. And I don't know what happened after that. I really don't. I don't know if they felt the bat or I don't know what they did after that. But the lawyer looked at him and goes, you're kidding me, right? What device do you use to check to see if a bat's been rolled? Well, we don't have one. Then how can you tell? What happened? It's flawed. SSUSA had the balls to come out and say that testing is flawed because they were told from this bat company that they could tell. They sent it to them. All of a sudden a lawsuit comes on, which I'm pretty sure a lawyer got involved and went after them. Right? Can you tell? I can tell. I can't tell. I have a bat. I used to, listen to this shit. I used to have a bat roller. I sold it. I sold it on Tuesday. Yesterday, I sold the bat roller. But listen to why I sold the bat roller. I'll get into that in a minute. So I've done this testing years ago. I have a video up. It's got 60,000 views on it. It got a video up there on, I don't think it does anything. I still stand by that. I actually think it adds a little bit more life. And I think it doesn't increase the performance. It prematurely breaks your bat in is what it does. So I was even saying, how can you tell? And nobody would answer how you can tell. So what happened was, and I want to say this too, on you guys that are jumping on those guys that were allegedly rolling their bats, that's bullshit. Because they just appealed a process that there is no process. So they were just labeled or picked out of a group that says you rolled your bat. You know, they could have been just throwing them out there just to prove a point that we are testing for rolling bats and we do know how to test. How do you know to test? I'm asking, how do you know to test? And don't give me this bullshit like you put your hand around it and you can rub it. That's not a test that will hold up in court, right? It's not a test because bats are built differently. You know, bats are built differently. And they don't do brand new. Well, you can tell by the striations. Yes, you can. But they're not going to pick that bat up. And after about 1,000 swings or 200 swings, that goes away. That all goes away. It actually striations in the whole barrel. And how do you know? I mean, I tell you what, I can pick a bat up and it'll have striations all the way out to here and they'll stop. A well-broken bat. And here's another thing too. Depending on the paint you put on it, a lot of striations you can't see. So you're alienating other companies. Well, I can roll those bats better. If that was true, I can roll those bats better than these. So let's go ahead and buy all these. It's flawed. If that can even happen. So I can pick up bats and in the past, and they have striations going up to here and stopping because it has no more flex on a well-broken bat. So you can tell me that bat was rolled? If you're going through the striations theory, right? Bats get to a point where it has no more flex because something, either the end plug is too long, you know, old, I can't even say the name of them. There are bats out there that have end plug up to about right here, right? So it gets striations all the way into like right up to that. So it has a line of striations. So you mean to tell me that bat was rolled? No, it just met its point where it can't flex anymore. So you're going to have something going in a circle right there. Or maybe down here too, where it's thickness. Right in here is too thick. Well, not in this bat, but right in this, it's too thick right here. So it's going to cut off at one line. You mean to tell me that bat was rolled? So don't throw that theory out there about the flex in the barrel. Now, I will commend SSUSA for coming back and saying, okay, it's flawed now. We're lifting the ban. They lift the ban because there's no way to prove it. Those guys, doesn't mean those guys rolled their bats, guys. And a lot of you guys were trashing that. They need to call those guys out. No, because they appealed the process. And there's no way to, there's no way. There's no way. And there's no way to tell that their bat was rolled. So why call their names out? You know, a lot of you guys, I want heads. No, you need to focus that shit on the shave shit. You know, it might have changed in the last, and I was working on it too. It might have changed in the last, 10 years that I did that last, when I was testing those road bats, you know, maybe, it's different now because of the polymers and all the other rosins and the carbon and all that other shit's different. But it's different now. But I can't see any performance in doing that. I was doing a video on it, and I trashed this is the sad part about it. I trashed the videos. We put them out there because SSUSA said, we can tell. Okay, so what I did was, whenever they came out with that, and I told you guys last week, I came out and I sold my bat. And a lot of you guys were asking, did Dave get hacked? Did Dave get hacked? Did he sell a bat roller? Yeah, I told you guys I purchased that bat roller to do testing. I wanted to see right now in today's bats that it does it affect? Does it increase the performance, or does it not? Or does it add to the longevity? So I was in that process of doing all that shit, right? All of a sudden here comes SSUSA, and they go, Dave, and the bat roller hadn't been used. It was sitting in the garage. And they go, guys, we got testing. We're going to send it to a manufacturer. That's the worst thing they could have did. They had 3-party testing. Don't ever send it to a manufacturer to do testing on anything. Got to have a third party on that. So we're going to send it to this manufacturer. We're going to tell. Well, guess what? They can't tell. There's no way. It's flawed. The thing is flawed. So guess what I did? When I heard about this before last week, I put the bat for sale. A lot of you guys were asking, is Dave selling a roller? Yes, I'm selling a roller. And if you guys need to know why I was selling a roller, you could have contacted me and asked me. I had one guy contacted me. Dave, is that your roller? Yeah, it's mine. And, you know, I was doing some testing. That's what I got it for, to do testing. Because I did it before in the past, so it wasn't no biggie. Do I roll my bats? Hell no, I don't roll my bats. My guys break my bats in for me because I am one of those guys that actually think that if I hit it and break it in the way I break bats in, it gets a little bit more performance on it than rolling it. And I've said that in the past. You can go back and look. So I have my guys do it, and I do it in a certain way. I'm not going to get away from that. So I have my guys do it the way, and I will put a video out on that one on how we break our bats in, because I think our bats last longer than a lot of other people's bats out there. That's just us. And my guys will vouch for me when we do that, especially they're gamers. So I do, when we were doing senior softball bat reviews, we actually broke our bats in, you know, the bats that we did reviews on. And we do it different. We hit spinners, 125 balls. Our first round is with spinners. We don't take full cuts because it's your first round. You're trying to get loose, you know. We turn it in our hands, you know, quarter turn every time. That's the way we do it. There's a little bit more stuff. We let them rest. A lot of you guys asking me about the Kevlar bat. What do you let it rest? Hell yes, we let it rest. And here's the deal. Why? Why? Because we've always let bats rest. Do we know what carbon the Kevlar is going to do? No, we don't. But why change it? We don't sit there and hit it and hit it and hit it and hit it, guys. And I know a lot of you guys, they're still texting me. Let you guys know that you cannot sit there and take 40, 30 swings, consistency with your bat, because it does break down some stuff in it. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. But it does break down some stuff in it. We let it rest. We take 15 swings. If it's my personal bat, I'm letting it rest for 20 minutes. On my personal stuff, I don't let it rest in the sun. I put it back in my bag. I let it rest. and then I take it back out 15 minutes later because we have enough guys, 8 guys. And by the time I hit again, I can bring it back out and hit it with it again, and then I put it away. I do not lay it in the sun. And look at that, UV rays, guys, UV rays. It's just not the sun heating the barrel up. UV rays kind of take a toll on a bat too, on a bat barrel. So, guys, don't get on the guys that got popped and, you know, because what they did was they appealed the process. They don't have a process, and the process was flawed. So those guys are off. They did not cheat, in my opinion. They did not cheat. Now, that's my opinion, and even my guy's opinion that hit with me. That's my opinion because I've done testing on it, and I know. It just no way. Now, when they come out with a device, you can stick a bat in and say, okay, this bat's been, that they stick it in. And SSUSA is actually going to do that. They're getting with NTS and NASA and all that other stuff, and they're going to come up with a machine that actually will test it. So get off the guy's ass. It was flawed. And then what happened was I put my bat roller up on, and somebody bought it right away. It wasn't a softball player too. It had nothing to do with slow pitch softball. Slow pitch softball, the guy that bought it. And he came yesterday, picked it up, and I kind of talked to him a little about fast pitch and stuff like that, but he kind of talked to me about it. But I sold it already. And then when they took the ban off, I said, well, I already sold it. No big deal. It doesn't matter. I trashed the video, so the video's gone because they said they found a way. So in the long story, guys, let's wait before we judge all these guys on doing it. Let's just wait to see if they come up with better testing on doing that. And I disagree with them sending it to a bat manufacturer to test. They need to get a third party in there to do it. And from what I hear, they are going to do it from now on. But that's it, guys, on that one. I want to talk about the OG blackout here before I get too long into this. It's already an hour long right now, and I don't want to get into it too long. I've got a shit ton of people still watching me. I'm going to start talking a little bit about bats now. Shit, I should have brought the one out here. A lot of you guys were asking me what is the difference between the OG blackout and the tack grip blackout right now. For one, weight distribution numbers are just like the wig poppers. If you guys know this, and I've been asked this, and I want to kind of put it into this right now, is the wig poppers are usually loaded about the same. Your 26 ounce going to have anywhere with a 2/10 of an ounce variation. It's going to be a 16.8 on the end, 17, and it's going to have 8.8 to 8.7, 8.6 on the hands. All of them all of them, right? That's what it's going to be on all of the wig poppers except for the gray one. If you guys remember, they loaded that gray one with a little bit more inload on that gray one. So that has a little bit more inload on that gray. I love the gray bat. And I think that what they did is load 3/10 of an ounce on the end of that bat. And that bat was, a lot of people love that bat. Trey loved that bat. I love that bat. I thought that bat was freaking amazing. But what happened with that OG wig popper, it came out of the factory and it was flawed, but it was flawed in a good way for the slower bat speed and the ladies. That's the difference. And it was built more like a balanced bat. So your 26 ounce, from what I can remember, had a 16, listen to these numbers, 16.2 on the end. And it had 8.9 on the hands. So it was built more like a balanced bat. But your 27 ounces, which I have and what Jeff has, and I think a couple of Sean Williams has out there. He's killing the ball last week with it. Sean has 27 ounce too. And those are like a 16.7, 16.8, you know, maybe with a 9, I think a 9.9 on the hands, 9.8 on the hands. So, but guys, it doesn't, the barrel is so responsive, you don't know you're swinging a balanced bat. You get tremendous performance on that bat. It actually, on those slower bat speed in the ladies, it actually adds a little bit more life because they're not compressing that wall, but that wall is hot as shit. That's how come I said earlier, I think it's the best bat ever made. And everybody in Short Porch agrees with me on that one. Another thing too, let me say this again. When I say I mean we, with Short Porch and my guys in Texas here too. So definitely, Is there any, here's another thing. Somebody asked me the other day, and I'm kind of looking through this, and somebody asked me the other day, are there any reviews on the Blackout Tackified grip? Blackout Tackified grip is what we were looking at whenever we ordered that Blackout and got that other run. We were looking for that bat without the Tackified grip, what Jeff did amazingly. Jeff actually added, and Leslie added that Tackified grip, and I think what it did was, and I'm going to kind of show this as an example, what it did was it added weight in the barrel. So it does swing maybe 2-3 ounce heavier on the end, not enough where you would have to drop weight. Like a lot of guys ask me, hey, I used to swing a 26. Would I have to go to a 25 in that Blackout with that Tackified barrel? No, you don't, because I think when you get those little increases when it comes to end weight, what you're going to get is better barrel performance. Because when they put that Tackified grip, that Tackified tacky feel barrel on this part, that's actually weight that they put on there, right? So it actually adds to the weight here. When you add weight here, you get better barrel flex. So it is a little heavy, about this much, not really a lot. So with that, you're going to get better cuts. You're going to cut the ball a lot better, especially if you spin it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get better end weight, better performance. Anytime you get end weight, 12-inch barrel, you get it better. This is another thing too. Me and Jeff talked about this. 12-inch will always outperform a 13-inch. 12-inch will always outperform if you have all the same bats. 12-inch will always outperform a 13-inch, but if you have the same bat, but because of better whip at the end, you got better mass to the barrel at the end. And I've said that for years too. When you start getting to 12 and the 13, the 12 and the 12.25 and 12.5, if those bats, they respond different if you put different stuff in them, you know, different handle flex, you know, different barrel, you know, because there is ways to tweak that barrel. So that's as far as I'm going to go in that when it comes to that. So when we talk about if you have both the same barrel, both the same mixture formula, and then you have a 12-inch and a 13, 12 will always outperform a 13 if it's the same bat. Everything's made the same. Handle flex, everything's made the same. So these are educational things that we can talk about. We do not, that's another thing too. All of our bats are different compared to what bat speed. So we don't have a high bat speed. We don't have a low bat speed. We have a lot of stuff that's in the middle. What Kevlar has done with us is Kevlar has actually made it where, remember I used to have 5 different bat speeds? Well, and then with the Zoc composite, Jeff had 3, you know, slow, and then he would have medium and then fast. What Kevlar has done is you can actually integrate 2 of these on one and 2 of these on the other, depending on which way you're going to go. So it actually makes where you buy 2 different bats, depending on what your bat speed is. Because of the Kevlar, we're getting better barrel response on higher compression bats. That's something we've never, or I have never experienced. That's something we have never experienced through Short Porch up to 6 months ago. There's something that I have never experienced the 15 years before that when it comes to bats. So we're getting better barrel response for a 210 compression. I never got that any other bat. I got horrible barrel response because of my bat speed on other bats out there. The compression test at 210, 205. I can get performance off the Kevlar on that 210, 205, right? Big mass on the end. So it's just a different animal. A lot of guys ask me, how long do you let it rest? I think Kevlar, you let it rest the same as you do with regular carbon. You let it rest for 15, 20 minutes. If it's your personal bat and are you just out there having fun, still let it rest because that bat's not going to last. You're already doing damage to the bat for future. Like, you know, it didn't damage it because I've already got 100 more swings on it. No. It's your longevity, your lifespan actually goes when you abuse a bat. And I've seen a lot of you guys abuse bats out there, man, because it's hot as shit. It's hottest thing I've ever swung, and you just can't put it down. My guys actually will grab a bat, and I've got to tell them, quit. You got to let that bat actually rest for you. Is Kevlar good for 52 300s? Hell yes, because of the Kevlar, the barrel response. When you get to that Kevlar 52 and you're hitting 52 300s on that Kevlar, you get a great barrel response. And guys, this is something that Leslie, Jeff has put together, It's different than anybody else. So we're kind of doing the testing this next year for the next few months. We're going to do a lot of testing. We've done testing on the Kevlar and the 52-300s. We already know what exit velo numbers are in that, and they have not. We'll pick up another bat, a Zott composite, and we're still getting better response on 52-300. So yes, that's how come I can sit here and tell you, because we have a computer back in Savannah that actually does test all this. So yes, we're getting great exit velo numbers on that Kevlar design, the Kevlar material. A lot of you guys asking me about bat reps. This is kind of pretty quick all the way up to the end. I know a lot of guys been on here for an hour and 15 minutes, but you know what to expect on this too. A lot of you guys asking for reps. I might have went through this earlier, but I can't remember because I do have that squirrel moments every once in a while. And I did go through it earlier. I'm just going to kind of talk about it here. If you guys want to be a rep, you'd have to get a hold of Christian Lamont. I'm sorry, Christian, but I'm going to put you out there. Call up Short Porch. Send an email to Christian. At the end, listen to the thing too, guys. At the end of my videos, all of my videos I'm going to put out tomorrow, it's going to have a code. And what you're going to do is pause the video at the end, take your phone up and stick it on that, when you go, like you're going to take a picture. And I know a few of you guys done this before, but probably quite a bit hasn't. So what you do when you go to a restaurant, right? When you go to a restaurant, you want to see the menu, you kind of put your phone, you take a picture of that little code that's on that table, and it'll pull up the menu. Well, same thing with my videos. You go to the end of the video, it's going to have a code up there. You're going to put your phone up to it, and you're going to take a shot of it, and it's going to come up with our website. And you're going to push it, and it's going to take you right into our website. It's going to be at every one of the end of my videos. It's a good way to, guys, you can get on there, and you don't have to call me. You don't have to check. You don't have to look it up. You don't have to get on Google and try to push it in, because it is Short Porch Baseball Company.com, and a lot of people don't like to do that. So it's a real quick way for, guys, I'm a senior. I don't like pushing in buttons. I got fat fingers, so I don't like doing that stuff. So on you guys that want to be a bat rep, get a hold of Christian, and he's gonna vet the hell out of you. And guys, the one thing I will say going forward, I don't care if you're with Short Porch. It's just something that if you do want to be a bat rep for a company, I'm going to give you a little tip here, right? Put out video and get a platform. The fastest way that you can become a bat rep for any company out there is have a big following, be honest with people when you talk, and don't be scripted, and put out a lot of video. No bat company will go to you just because you say, I've done this, I've done that. Well, show me the proof. I need to see you on video. I need to see the way you act. I need reinsurance that you're not going to be this jackass, or you're not going to, because there's a lot of those guys out there. The majority of them are not, but I'm just saying a lot of you guys are out there. What do you bring to the table? You bring content to the table, do you just hit bombs, or do you actually talk, or do you go oppo, or do you hit, for batting average? So that's another thing too. You gotta be established to get on faster. It takes a long time to get on there just doing it the regular way of going around and asking people to do that. Somebody asked me any reviews on the blackout with a tackified grip, and they're asking me this. Do you have any reviews on it, guys? Listen, let me explain something to you. We don't do reviews. We don't do reviews on bats. We don't do reviews on our bats. We advertise for our bats, and then we explain in every video on what better bat speed does this bat fit. Everybody that works for us, everybody, I'm talking about the Army, all the Army people, and they're up here watching tonight. They believe in the product, right? So how do we get the product? How do we talk to you about the product? For one, they do video. Another thing too, they talk about who it helps, what bat helps who. A majority of our guys should already know that. We're talking about our bat reps that are out there. Got a shit ton of them that are out there. Sorry about the language. I kind of got away from that for a while. It kind of feels good to actually say that. We're not reviewing, right? Because we're not comparing it to other. We already believe in our product. So a lot of ours is advertising. This is what this bat brings to the table, right? It helps me right? This is the performance I'm getting out of it because we're actually showing you the performance we get out of it. We're showing you how far the ball goes, right? We're seeing you where it lands, you know, showing a diagram of the field. It's not like we're just showing you pictures of us hitting. We're showing you diagrams of where it's hitting. You know, Trey hit one off the scoreboard, 360 foot against the wind with a DDT. You know, that video was up. That video should be up there already on this channel. A lot of stuff we will share on this channel. Senior softball, it'll be so I'll go backwards there. Short Porch, Texas, and then Short Porch, and then all of the others we share with everybody. All the Short Porch group, all of the reps out there, you know, our little army that we call them. They get it too, and they share with everybody. DDT. But again, we don't do reviews. We actually, I was kind of sketching that out. We don't do reviews. The guy is saying he doesn't see a lot of them out there, and I don't know why. We don't send a lot of our bats out anymore. And I kind of talked about this in the past. We don't send them out. We actually have our group, our group of people, our group of reps that actually will do that for us. So, and they kind of talk about what better swing that this bat fits. So we already got our own. We don't send them out anymore. DDT info, guys. I put up some clips of the DDT, prototype DDT, because the prototype is a little different weight distribution. Jeff wanted to kind of mess with something a little bit. So we have been putting some video out, and a lot of you guys are going, what are the specs? Well, we're only going to put out the specs whenever that bat is launched. It's going to be a while before it's launched, but these are actually little teaser videos on what we have. There is another bat called, the black bats are called None Your Business bat. And that's a joke, guys, so don't take me serious when I say that. It's going to have a cross, it's got DDT, and on the other side it's going to be None Your Business. It's a joke, but this is the DDT design. So, and there's another bat out there, it's got a gray barrel on it. That's the bat with no name, and we're hitting that one too. And you guys can see the performance on it. And this, we really believe in that bat. It's not going to be changed. That's going to be it. And it's kind of like a little teaser going on out there too. So you guys can watch all that. I'm not going to give you weight distribution numbers on it, but you guys, if you know Short Porch, are going to be badass weight distribution numbers on it. So that's definite. And we're going to kind of hold off. You'll see videos on that DDT every once in a while. I'm cutting up videos for tomorrow. You'll see a few videos up tomorrow of the 70-year-old guys hitting it, the ladies hitting it, you know, and then we got Murray Williams out there smacking it too. So especially with that bat. Future guest, the one guy that I want to get on, and he actually was on Matt Barnes the other day, is Brandon Murray. What I want to do is I want to do a Wednesday video of me and Brandon just talking about lifting, eating, supplements, you know, kind of what we do to prepare for a tournament. And I'm going to have to set some time away. That way I can talk in the beginning a little bit and then get Brandon on, maybe talk for an hour. That's when I want to schedule it for. And then because I talked to him in Vegas for a long time when we were in, because we stayed in the same house, and I talked to him for a long time. And I played against Brandon 99, 2000. He doesn't know this yet, but I'll talk to him later about it. I played against him. He pitched, I think, 99, 2000 out of Houston. And I kind of did a little story I wanted to talk when he gets here, a little story I wanted to talk about what he did. And it was pretty funny. He was a big guy back then too, but kind of talk about him a little bit. But Brandon Murray, and I do want to have guys on from Short Porch that are on out there, guys that represent Short Porch, kind of talk about what they're doing, how they got to where they're at. Another thing too, guys, and I keep hearing this from people that get on, is a lot of guys out there don't know what a balanced bat is. I think you can get too much of a balance where you get zero performance, and it almost swings like a broomstick with no flex on the barrel. What Short Porch does is build balanced bats the way Short Porch designed them, and they've been doing this for a while. You know, last year started doing it, maybe a little bit before that. they started doing it and they do it different than everybody else has. What I saw in the last 15 years were there's a lot of bats out there that were too balanced. And I kind of trashed on them a little bit, but what Porch has been doing for a while is they started building balanced bat the right way. And I agree with the way they were building them. And I actually talked to Jeff about this a year and a half ago about the direction he was going. And I said, I can't wait to swing that bat because that's pretty badass. But definitely it's a balance. It has a balance feel, but the way they loaded it, it has end loaded performance. And a lot of you guys are going, it's just a mid load. No, it's not. Guys, listen to this shit. A lot of bat companies out there would claim mid load, but didn't have a mid load, right? It wasn't a mid load. There's no such thing, because a mid load meant that it was loaded in the middle. No, you can't load a bat with just weight in the middle. You got to have weight on the end too, but get too far into that. But a lot of guys would claim it's a mid load. No, on their product, but way long time ago. I don't think they've done that in the last 10 years, but I'm just saying they weren't really mid loads. So I think what Porch is doing is building balanced bats the way they should be built. And going into balanced bats, let me talk about bats here, man. And it's going to be real quick because I don't have any. A lot of you guys remember this bat, right? You remember this bat? Probably one of the top selling bats out there, right? For the last, well, shit, since they put it out, I think it was last year. So what we have here too is this bat is that bat that I just picked up, and it's in Kevlar. Guys, I'm going to put video out for the next couple of days on this bat. This bat is amazing. And you guys can see it's got a 16.9 on the hands. This is a 27 ounce. And it's got almost a 10. It's got a 16.9 on the end, and it's got a almost 10 on the hands. So it's an ounce heavier on the hands than our end-loaded bats, that are half-ounce end-load bats. So it's got an ounce more here. Guys, you can feel it. It doesn't feel like an end load. I got a 27 because we were swinging. When you guys, like, we swung an end-loaded bat. That's my dog. When we swing an end-loaded bat, we always go up an ounce when we grab a balanced bat all the time, because we can walk right into it. We don't have no sledge effect on the end. We get great barrel performance because Porch does load their bats with a big end load on them the way they're supposed to be loaded. Another bat we're working on right now, and I don't have all the bats here. I'm going to kind of cut this down a little bit. What I do have here is, I think this is an amazing. I'm fixing to go out there and grab my dog. I think this is going to be amazing, and I bet we've got over 500 swings on this bat, and it's a prototype. I will tell you that it's a prototype. It's the Adam Fowler Fat Guy BP. This goes to a charity of Adam's that we are actually prototyping this. We're actually swinging it. It's a 26.5 total weight, so it could be a 27. I think he did send me a 27. It's got 17.3 on the end with 8.3 on the hands, a low hand weight. Guys, this bat is hot. I'm going to put up some video tomorrow about this bat too and kind of talk about it. But that is a badass bat right there. And Adam, I think he's going to stay with, I hope he stays with those specs. And it does have a tackified barrel on it. You guys see us swinging this in the next couple of 3 weeks. And this is actually a prototype of the DDT. It's just something that we've worked on. I will talk more about it because there's so much that went into this bat. It's a game changer, in my opinion. We all think our opinion. It's a game changer, and no other bat ever has been built like this one. No other bat out there has been built like that. I know we keep talking about it. That bat didn't have anything on it. I think I can talk about it a little bit there. It is something that is new tech in so many ways. Not just new tech in one way, it's new tech in a lot of other ways that we actually put into this bat. It took a lot of thought going into this bat. This bat was built by Christian and Jeff Kessler on their way to Vegas last year. And they sent me the write-up on it. And it was, looking at the write-up, it was on a computer and it was all 3D imaging. So it was pretty neat to see something like that. A thought like that come to, come to motion. And then you can actually see how they're building it. And that was Christian. Thanks you guys for that. Christian and Jeff Kessler. And I think I've got so much stuff to talk about. I'll have to move it till next week. Moon Doggy. I would have had one, and you guys can watch Alan swing that bat. I would have had one, but I had to give it up to Alan. When I was in Florida, I was bringing one down to Richard Clem. So what's going to happen going forward is Richard is going to do all of my U-Trip stuff going forward. And he'll be doing videos on Sundays, Sunday mornings. And then you guys can jump over to, he'll be posting a lot of those videos in Short Porch, Texas. And then kind of tune in on Sunday mornings. You guys ain't doing nothing. Watch. He's going to have a few guys out there, younger guys out there hitting that U-Trip market. He's going to get one of those moon doggies, bring it in. Guys, a lot of you guys asking us about, he's going to get one of those moon doggies and hit it and let you know. Here's the deal about the moon doggie. I love the chocolate. They sold out, I think, the chocolate milkshake. I love the way that bat felt. It was a balanced bat. And that moon doggie, I haven't hit it yet because I got hurt. So I'm going to wait to see what happens if I can, when can I swing again? A lot of you guys asking about the ASA bat. We are in process of, we've got so much stuff. We got to wait in line. We got so much stuff that's going on right now that we're waiting on. And guys, it's just something I let you guys, what we're working on, the ASA bat, fast pitch bat. We're working on that one too. It's like in line. We're going through these ones that we're going to put out in the next few months. Coming in March, there's going to be launches on three different bats in March. Jeff kind of talked about a little bit about that today. Adam Fowler bat, I think the DI, David Ireland bat is coming out. I think right around that is the Ron Yeager. So we'll be out around that same time too. Make sure I'm not missing anything, guys. Facebook Live in the morning, guys. We'll be out there around 9 o'clock. We'll be hitting all the bats that we have. We'll be teasing a little bit with that because we've actually got them broken. We hit the other day, guys. Another thing, too, when you see us hit the other day, you can hear me talking about, it's just we're breaking those bats in. And the more you tune in, the more they're going to get, the livelier they're going to get because we are breaking those bats in when it comes to that. 9 a.m. in the morning, it'll be our second round of hitting a lot of those bats. We'll be hitting the balanced wig popper in the morning, Adam Fowler's bat in the morning, and a lot of that bat with no name, because I do want to see what that bat, and actually Murray actually took one today because he does take a lot of BP in Austin. Murray's from Austin. He actually drives down and hangs out with us and goes to eat with us. But and then we'll let you guys know. By just watching the video, you guys can just watch that. Video's going out all day tomorrow. You guys can tune in. You got any questions? Here's another thing too. Guys, you got any questions, leave them up here and ask them. If you don't want to ask them here, Facebook Messenger is the best way. Now, give me a couple of days to get back with you because I got a lot of stuff going on in the next 3 days. So give me a couple of days to get back with you, and I will answer them, not really in a long sentence, kind of like a short sentence, yes or no. I've actually asked a lot of you guys, can I go with this or can I swing this? My bat today, my bat speeds 52 miles an hour. I was trying to get him into the blackout. So I answer a lot of those questions during the day. You got any questions, guys, feel free to text me, message me. If you guys got my phone number, text me like they were just doing right now. And then if not, get a messenger, get a hold of me. And if you got any complaints, that's another thing. You got any complaints, you want to know the truth about things, I'm pretty honest when it comes to that. Join that membership channel. I'll be more honest with you and just talk to you about stuff because those guys I kind of talk privately with, and vent is what I do. That's my therapy. That membership channel is my therapy, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making this such a successful podcast. And I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks.